Media spin is defined as a form of propaganda achieved through providing a biased interpretation of an event or campaigning to persuade public opinion in favor or against some organization or public figure. This tactic is used by most news outlets like CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News. These big three news outlets have far-reaching effects on the American people, as the majority of the American people get their news from at least one of these sources. CNN and MSNBC tend to present a more liberal bias to their news, while Fox News tends to be more conservative. The divisive nature of the media divides the country even further, and it must be stopped. This media bias chart provides a spectrum and rates the media sources on their political biases. However, even media sources in the center of the chart utilize spin in order to convince their viewers that their opinions are right. Here is a video of President Donald Trump using a particularly controversial word that stirred up a lot of conflict in the media world.
A globalist is a person that wants the globe to do well, frankly, not caring about our country so much. And you know what? We can't have that. You know, they have a word. It sort of became old-fashioned. It's called a nationalist. And I say, really, we're not supposed to use that word. You know what I am? I'm a nationalist, okay? I'm a nationalist.
Nationalism is defined as loyalty and devotion to a nation, especially a sense of national consciousness, exalting one nation above all others, placing primary emphasis on promotion of its culture and interests as opposed to those of other nations or supranational groups. Donald Trump uses this word to express his feelings of American supremacy, which is an accepted political opinion. However, liberal news media had this to say.
So it's a bit of a dog whistle, perhaps, or maybe it's a signal to white nationalists that he supports their goals.
You know why you're not supposed to use that word? Because it's the second half of white nationalists. Chopping off the first word doesn't change what it means in our minds. Oh, look, I'm a Klux Klan.
Or a dog whistle to some Americans out there that what you really mean is that you're a white nationalist.
I've never even heard that. I cannot imagine that. You mean I say I'm a nationalist? No, I never heard that theory about being a nationalist. We protect and we get killed. We do the trading and they get killed. Can't do it. All I want our country is to be treated well, to be treated with respect. So in that sense, I am absolutely a nationalist and I'm proud of it.
He's never heard that? Come on, man, you're the president of the United States. You've never heard that white nationalist? You should know better. Nobody's questioning whether President Trump loves his country, but he just said that he's never heard of white nationalism. That really seems hard to believe. But maybe we should just give him the benefit of the doubt over using the nationalist label. Or not.
These media sources used media spin to connect Donald Trump to white nationalism, even though this was not what he was trying to say. Here is Marco Rubio in defense of Donald Trump.
Could be. Well, there are two. One is they ascribe to nationalism, sort of the nationalism of the Nazis or somebody else. That's ethnic and racial nationalism. I'm not talking about ethnic nationalism.
Of course not.
I'm talking about a national identity that actually is completely irrelevant to your ethnicity. In fact, you don't even have to be born here. If you come here legally, you can be a U.S. citizen. It's one of the great things about America. Some of the people who love America are the most are the people who are Americans by choice.
Yes.
Because they know what life is like in another country.
Rubio explains Trump's interpretation of the word and how the media has blown this way out of proportion. So, I used this same tactic of spinning words to create a new segment of my own.
Audio Jungle.
Depression and lack of motivation.
Definitely what's going on in Yemen, and the fact that children are in cages in Texas right now.
People make commitments to something, and then they can't be committed to that because they made prior commitments. So they double book themselves, and then no one can do anything.
Poverty. Hatred.
Climate change.
Alright, stupid people.
War. Nationless people. Corruption.
Furries.
I used these people's own words to paint them as the problem, and this is what happens in society today, even if it is not to this extreme. As civilians, we have the responsibility to be aware of the biases in the media and to take all the information that we get with a grain of salt. The media may never solely present the news as they should, and as long as they continue to produce propaganda, the American people have the responsibility to find the facts, even if they are not given to them.
There's a lot of hoopla about windmills. They're horrible-looking structures. They make noise. They kill birds by the thousands. By the way, many countries have decided they don't want wind because it doesn't work without massive subsidies. It kills massive amounts of birds and wildlife. The wind is very tough because those windmills are very, very expensive, and they kill the birds, and they look very terrible. Isn't it amazing the way the environmentalists love the windmills, and yet they kill all the birds? The wind kills all your birds. All your birds killed. You know, the environmentalists never talk about it. In California, if you kill a bald eagle, they put you in jail for 5 years. And yet the windmills knock them out like flies. It's crazy. I don't want to just hope the wind blows to light up your homes and your factory. As the birds fall to the ground.
Bing, that's the end of that windmill. If the birds don't kill it first. The birds can kill it first. They kill